wanted to tell you, as long as I have you, how it's been going. So, been in Council Bluffs. It is after midnight, finished playing. Gonna have a cigar before I head back to the house. It is the 8th now that it's after midnight, but you know, today was me playing poker on the 7th. So I drove in, got in like the evening, afternoon on the 31st. Did play a little, but knew it wasn't gonna be like full hours. So this has been the 7th day. Been here about a week. 7 days, and it is so much better. Needed to get out of Vegas, needed to go just somewhere else. Here is the first stop, and so far I don't know exactly. I know after last night I was what my average was, hours. I didn't quite play that much today, but I'm pretty sure it's like 7 hours 57 minutes I'm averaging per day through the first 7 days. I enjoy being in the building, I enjoy being in the poker room. Basically everything I said about lately when I've been going out to play in Vegas, like, this is the opposite. I would prefer to be in there playing to being in my room watching YouTube. And yeah, been a ton of fun. Love being in the building. Love talking to the other players, love talking to the other love talking to the dealers. I saw my law school friend for dinner. Mark out here invited me to lunch. We went to lunch. Thanks for the invitation, Mark. Don't know tons of people outside the casino. Probably gonna see a second law school friend in a couple weeks. It is almost everything I said in that video where I was on the roof of the Harris parking garage, and then the 2 days it took driving here. Like, the opposites of all those things are happening, and I'm loving my time here so far. There was a hand. I doubled up a guy with a flush. Okay, when I started the hand, I was up about 100 on the day. When I ended the hand, I was at like negative 100 on the day. So okay, I would have much preferred that hand didn't happen. I would have much preferred to win the hand. I did have outs going to the river. I would have much preferred, you know, to have like any better outcome than minus 200 in that hand occur. But it wasn't like the devastating feeling I have in Vegas where it's like, what needs to happen now so that I get this back and have a winning session? Like, and I think that in Vegas sometimes, and I can't really imagine things. I like can't picture like the series of hands that would need to play out that like are likely to happen at that table in Vegas that would get me to the point where I'm unstuck. Like out here, all right, I wasn't a fan of the run out. I wasn't a fan of the result, but like that was fairly early in the day, and I'm like, all right, whatever, keep playing. There will be tons of opportunities to win a good sized pot. And I played like 7.5 more hours that day. So yeah, pretty much every negative I was feeling about Vegas, the exact opposite is happening right now. Had to get a few things at the supermarket. We are living it up this week. Did I say we? Finally made it to the casino. Gonna play for a few hours, and then yeah, I think something real interesting is gonna be happening at the airport later, so that's where I'm gonna go. All right, played a few hours, gonna go, finally, gonna go to the airport. I think something magical might be happening over there. All right, just gonna sit here at arrivals. I think something cool might happen. I started a new game in the poker room, got a small win out of it. There was one guy who went through several hundred, got into 2 hands against him, lost one, won one. But yeah, he went through, man, maybe about 3 buy-ins before he left. I think that was the 4th table that was going, so there should be at least 4 tables going when I return to the poker room, and that's it for now. All right, it was tough to film, drive, and talk at the same time, but I ran into this guy at the airport. Who would have thought? You don't know how I was talking to the camera the whole day. Just happened to go to the airport, happened to run into this guy. He missed his flight. I was supposed to pick him up at 1:30. He wound up getting in at 8:30. We're gonna play for a couple hours and pick up another friend at the airport at 11:30, and then probably just back to the house. Somehow we're all staying at the same Airbnb house. They had enough bedrooms that were all in the same place, and that's it. This is actually the farthest east Herbs and Rye has ever played poker. It used to be Tulsa. I checked the map. Council Bluffs is slightly east of Tulsa, or for you guys slightly east of Tulsa. This is the farthest east he's going to play. Right now there's 1-3-300 max going on. Pretty sure that's it, and we're going to go play.
Very exciting stuff.
We were on different tables. First hand, literally first hand I sat, I lost straight to boat. Managed to get a profit out of the session somehow after that. Herbs and Rye at the other table. There were 3 very old women at your table.
They got me. They got me.
Actually, 2 of them, I was playing with them before I went to pick up Herbs and Rye. They left to go to dinner, said they were coming back. They did come back, and then Herbs and Rye got to play with them.
Aces up versus worse acing up. They got me.
Ace 8-2 I hear. Herbs and Rye had Ace 2. The old woman in seat 6 had Ace 8. So that's what happens. Sad day in the Omaha Council Bluffs area. Why is that?
I don't know why it's that sad. I'm happy I'm going home.
Best, oh wow, we missed breakfast pizza. I was gonna say best gas station pizza I've ever had, which is true. No breakfast slices. Herbs and Rye is devastated. Two Council Bluffs Casey's in one morning. This is living. Oh, they have it. They have 1.5 pies of it. All right, here it is. Egg, bacon. Some of them have sausage, some of them have ham. That's like kind of debatable, and sometimes they throw it in, sometimes not. But here we go. All right, they don't all have all the ingredients. Herbs and Rye actually got a breakfast bacon. So there's egg and bacon. I got a breakfast sausage. There's egg and sausage on it. And I remember one of the days I drove Herbs and Rye. We were driving early to the casino, and I remember his had ham on it, mine didn't. But ham was not the only thing on his. It's like it was under the cheese, and we didn't really know until he started eating it. But yeah, 2 Casey's in one morning. We got our breakfast slices, and after this, we're gonna go to the casino, play about 2 hours, 20 minutes, and then get Herbs and Rye to the airport. Any last things to say? Alright, it's windy here on the lake. Try to block the wind with my hat. This is Carter Lake. I asked Herbs and Rye if he could just kind of bend over and catch some fish with his hands. He said he can't pull that off. He did contact somebody who like charters fishing boats, and the guy never returned his call. Alright, I am as far out on this limb of this tree as I can get. That's where I was. That's where I was just filming. Ah. Alright, I guess I'll end the video here. Herbs and Rye looks pretty bored. Alright, at the casino. So, a week of profits and losses. Today's day 1. It is a Monday, so gonna end on a Sunday. Monday to Sunday. Actually wanted the final days to be Friday, Saturday. Had a different plan for what a video was gonna be yesterday, and it just didn't happen. All right, what went on in there? I'll get to the things I was involved in. First, we had a $700 pot won by 9 high, classic Council Bluffs. One guy just went crazy with a gut shot. He had 9-5. There was a 7 and a 6 on board, so he had a gutter. And a guy with 8-5, the open ender, wasn't folding. 225 each went in on the turn. They got all in on the river, and no one hit anything. So 9 high took it down. Before I transferred tables, on the first table, there were back-to-back hands that were 3-way all-ins pre-flop. The same guy, seat 4, both hands had aces. Both times they held. He went from like 125 bucks to 1,000 in 2 hands. Classic Council Bluffs. What else? We had a hand that was $45 to go, 5 ways pre. Then 3 people put in 100 on the flop. Then one guy was all in on the turn. Then a different guy was all in on the river. 3 people got to showdown. A pair won that one. Me. Things didn't go great. I did stack a guy He didn't have a full buy-in, half, 2/3 of a buy-in. That was good. I did have a stretch in like an hour. I had 5 overpairs and all of them got cracked. That was pretty brutal. I did have a double barrel bluff that got through. I was hoping it would get through with one. Sometimes you hope for a call and then you want the guy to fold on the next street. You make more money that way. I was hoping the first barrel worked, but I was willing to go 2 and it worked. Flopped absolutely nothing. We were very multi-way, but everyone checked and I turned 2 draws. I bet one guy called, didn't hit, and you know what, the river card was pretty good though. It didn't give, I had a straight on a flush draw. I didn't even hit a pair, but my straight draw didn't come in, but 4 to a straight did hit the board. It didn't make tons of sense for him to have it. I didn't think I was really repping that card that would give me the straight that well, but he wasn't really thinking that way, so just had to put out a bet, and it was just like an extra thing that he was worried about, and he thought for like 10 seconds and he folded, so that was a nice pot to pick up. And toward the end of the night, I hit a 2 pair. I was very confident I was ahead, but it was a pretty scary board for my opponent. I couldn't get him to call like huge amounts. I had 2 pair, but there was 3 to a straight and 3 to a flush on board. So I very much like my sizing. Felt like I got the most I could get. Didn't go crazy just pounding it, even though I was confident I was ahead, and I was. We got to showdown, but felt like I got the most I could get off him. All right, yes, fresh buzz. No, didn't get to the casino as early as I wanted to. Finally, getting you a mid-session report. Not done playing, came out here just to film. A lot going on in there. Man, it's amazing when there's a lot of energy going on, how fast time passes. I've played over 6 hours already. Feels like I've only been there like 2. There's 6 1-3s going, I think, a 2-3 going. Also, there was a 5-10 that broke, but they turned that table into a 2-3-6 2000 max. So there's a lot going on in there. Long list. Guy who used to be in a cult is in the room playing. He did not call in, and there was such a long list, he was waiting for a while. He has a seat now. Me and him have a deal. If he's still here at 1:45, we're gonna split a pizza from JB's Cafe. It closes at 2. So if he's still here playing that late, we're gonna get a pizza. I go to him with all my cold questions. I think I'm like up 25 bucks. I was down 75 at one point. Been in that range between like -75 and +25 all night. No huge pots for me, but a lot going on, a lot of opportunities to win some pots. Hope one happens between now and the end of the night. It was, so the 5-10 broke, and a guy from the 5-10 game, I've never seen him before, he came to the 1-3 table, and like 5-10, first of all, there's probably a lot of straddles to 20. I don't know, the pre-flop raise is probably anywhere between like 50 and 100. He gets to the table and he sees a raise to $12 after playing 5-10 all day. He sees this raise to 12 and he goes, that's like throwing quarters at a stripper. Solid hours. The tables were good. No huge opportunities came my way, but better than a loss, so I'll take it. Day 5 of 7 tomorrow. Is it day 5? Friday is day 5? Yeah. Friday's day 5, tomorrow, day 6, Saturday. Time should go by very quickly tomorrow also. A ton of college football games on all day. And then Saturday, and then Sunday is day 7 of 7. This isn't too insane. I'm leaving the best for last. But there was a flop of 6-4-4. And there you go, on the bottom, 6-4-4. 3 people got all in for $330 each. The thing is, I don't remember exactly how much money was in there pre-flop. It couldn't have been a ton. $60, $75 maybe. The hands that got all in were queens, 5-4, and a guy who never showed. Totally understand 5-4 wanting to get all in. Queens in Vegas would not get all in for $330 with only like $60 or $75 in the pot. And I would love to know what the guy who never showed his cards had. But just for like a pot to like escalate that quickly is awesome. Happens in plenty of cities out there in the world. Doesn't happen in Vegas all that much. But just like, I don't know. Not being at the table, it loses a little. I'm not doing it like total justice, but like things just escalated very, very quickly. And like 330 into a pot that's double digits. That's a lot, regardless of the holdings. actually went 5-4. He showed first. I wasn't 100% sure he was going to be ahead. The guy with queens seemed like much more confident than having one pair in $1,000 pot in that scenario. But he ended up having queens, and third guy we never saw. Save the best for last. Classic Council Bluffs. There was a board. 3 guys were in the hand. The board was Jack 6-4 with 2 hearts, and then another 6 on the turn. 3 guys got all in for $400 each. Money went in pre, money went in on the flop. 3 people put in $400 each. 2 guys had very close to 400. 1 guy had them covered. The hands on Jack 4-6-6. Jack 6-4-6. King 7 of hearts. 1 overcard and hearts. Ace Jack, top pair. And the third guy to get all in on this board. No, actually, he was the second. Ace Jack was the third player to get all in. The guy, I haven't said his card yet. The second player to get all in. There's a bet. There's a race to 400, and this guy, third player in the hand, is facing a $400 bet. He has to call all in for 400 if he wants to continue. On Jack 6-4-6, this guy in the middle called all in for $400 with Ace 10 offsuit. No pair, no draw, 1 overcard. So you have Ace 10, who can't win, Ace Jack, and King 7 of hearts. King 7 of hearts, hilariously, hits. Doesn't hit the heart. He rivers the King of clubs for the win, which was the funniest card he could have hit for the win. So that pot was like $1,500. The Ace 10 was unexpected, to put it nicely. And, you know, if King 7 hit a heart, it's like, all right, Ace Jack guy would have been just as devastated. Maybe not, because, like, when a black king hit the river, he thought he was good. Like, if he thought he was good on the turn to call all in there, 3-way, like, he didn't expect a king to somehow lose him the pot, a black king at that. Like, he was probably aware that, like, hearts weren't going to be great if they hit the river. An offsuit king to give King 7 kings and 6s jack kicker for the win in that pot was awesome. And remember, rice is a spoon food.